Hi, I'm Molly.
And I'm Jamie, and this is our From the Pasture with Hired Hand podcast. As the owners of Hired Hand website software, we've been developing websites and creating internet marketing strategies for livestock breeders for the past 10 years.
The majority of our customers are involved in the breeding of registered animals, such as Texas Longhorns, Highland cattle, horses, and whitetail deer, where the pedigrees are very important. The From the Pasture with Hired Hand podcast examines many of the differences in raising pedigreed livestock for maximum profit. Join us and learn what we're covering today.
Well, hi, Chase. Thanks for taking a few minutes out of your night to talk about the G&G Fall Classic.
Hi, Jamie. Thank you for having me. Good to be here.
All right. So for those people that may not know you, introduce yourself.
Yeah. So I'm Chase Vasut. I work with the Longhorn Legacy Group, manage sales for them throughout the country now, especially with the old guy retiring, Dale Hunt. I'll be reading a lot of pedigrees at the upcoming sales. So I've been involved in Longhorns since 2009. So 14 years going on. Love everything about the industry, the people, and that's me. So I'm also one of your sale hosts this year for the G&G Fall Classic, along with Ann Gravitt and Sean Pecano. They're both up on ground zero right now. I'm leaving for Virginia tomorrow. So they said, well, I'm just doing nothing here. We might as well hop on while they're actually getting all the work done.
Well, you got quite a drive ahead of you. I think you and Dylan are...
Absolutely. Yep, 23 hours.
Oof, that's a jaunt. That's a lot of time. Hopefully you can stop and get out and stretch and get some sleep at least so you're not driving straight through.
Yeah, and that's, there's a lot of misconception about going to the East Coast, but there's a network of breeders everywhere. Like we found a really good route south, so we stop at Neil and Stan Merriman's at NS Longhorns. Dylan and Neil have had some smack talking about barbecue, so I think Neil actually took off tomorrow to start smoking meat all day. So yeah, I mean, don't ever worry about going anywhere in the country. There's always a place to lay over cattle and hang out with some breeders.
Nice. Well, it sounds like you should have a good dinner tomorrow night.
That's the plan. That's the plan.
All right. So give us a little bit of a history about the Fall Classic.
Yeah. So the fall sale on the East Coast has been around for a few years. This year with new managing partners and all that with Sean and Ann, we decided to give it a little bit of a facelift. So kind of treated as almost like the premier sale on the East Coast. We've got the Netless sale that did really well this year, the Cherry Blossom. This one we seem to, when we're going through cattle, I don't want to use the word cold, but we're a little more strict. We want this to showcase what the East Coast has to offer. So really treating it like, the Legacy sale of the East, or, the Hudson Valentine Stockyard sale, or even the Legend sale. There's a higher quality cattle, and people are a lot more picky on who they put in this year. So, under the new name, the G&G Fall Classic this year, it's shaping out to be one of the best ones we've had yet.
And how many years has the sale been going on? Is this 5?
I think this is number 5. Yeah, it all kind of blends together. But yeah, I think this is the 5th year. If not, we'll call it that.
All right, sounds good. All right, so let's give us the details for the sale, the time, the location.
Yeah. So we're once again in Culpeper, Virginia, at the Culpeper Ag Enterprises. It's a great little facility right on the highway. So starting Thursday, even Wednesday, from some of the cattle coming across the country, they'll be loading in. Friday, we need all the cattle there by 10 because we're going to start stacking for the futurity. 11 o'clock, the Fall Classic futurity kicks off. And then, as always, 6 p.m., the party at G&G. Ann opens up her home in the ranch, and out by the pool, we do the Futurity Awards. We've got a dinner this year sponsored by Chris Hesse of DCT Cattle. Good local southern buffet style. And then, we hang out at Ann's, party, and get ready for the sale that kicks off Saturday at 11 a.m.
And what time do the cows have to be out on Sunday?
Sunday, we'd like him out by noon. So yeah, Sean is there. He's, part of the back crew. So if they've got to be any later than that, just let him know. But normally it's not an issue to have him out of there by noon.
Okay. And if anybody has to arrive early, just also let Sean know.
Yeah, Sean Pecano or myself, or even you can call Ann. So if you're getting there early, later, probably after 6 p.m. on Thursday, just give us a heads up, and we'll make sure somebody's there to unload your cattle and get them ready for the weekend of festivities.
All right. And then sale day contacts for those people who may have questions.
Sale day will also be me and Sean. Jamie, I think you'll be up there with Hired Hand. You always do a great job helping us out. If people have questions about, measurements or need photos, again, both of our numbers are listed in the front of the sale catalog. So, we can get you whatever you need up there, but those would be your main sale day contacts is, myself, Sean, and then Jamie volunteering you.
Okay. The auctioneer.
Once again, will be Dan Huntington. We think he's done a really, really good job. It's funny. I've started pedigree reading, went all the way around and then started working with Dan. I don't think you'll meet a bigger goofball in the entire world. And you can attest to that. But when it comes time to work, he's one of the most professional guys that you'll ever deal with. He takes his job very seriously, has a great rapport with a lot of the industry. So he works really, really hard. And so it was a no-brainer for us this year bringing him back.
Nice. And I think you just said you're going to be reading pedigrees again for the sale.
Yep. I'll be doing pedigrees. I mentioned earlier Sean Pecano. He's got a great crew of guys that actually raise Longhorns. They'll be working the back crew. Our ringmen will have Jay Walker and Dylan Scarpa catching your bids at the sale, and then of course we've got going to be broadcasting via Hired Hand Live to the rest of the world.
Perfect. And for those people who are going to be online or looking for haulers, who's available?
Everybody. So like I said, it just depends on where you're at. I mean, 5 years, we've never left a cow at the barn. I know Dylan's going back to Texas. We've got Vincent Rapp coming up, Dan Grove, kind of on the southeastern part, Jay Walker. So, bid in confidence if you get a cow. The only thing we say is just let us know. Again, text me, text Sean, text Dan, and say, hey, I bought a cow and I need a hauler. That way we can get it lined up for you.
All right, so let's talk about the consigners for the Fall Classic this year. Do you have any newbies this year?
We do, quite a few. I'll start in Texas just because that's where I'm from. Like, we've got Ross Suber of Dauntless Longhorns coming up. Rhonda Poe finally is making it to the East Coast. That's taken us about a decade to get her up there. Randy Murray at New Age Cattle. I mean, since he's taken over down there, he's done incredible things. And we've got Jeremy and Lindsay McIntyre. They've consigned previously. But we got like Eli Esch. He's from up in Pennsylvania. We got, let me see here. Got a lot of them. Sam Fisher, he's up in PA as well. Brian Piggott, and he's in Michigan. So a lot of first timers, and then a lot of, I guess locals or not locals, repeat customers.
Nice. I think when I counted the other day, there was 34 total consigners from roughly 14 states, as long as I can count correctly.
Yeah, no, I mean, that sounds great. And it just goes back. I mean, a 50 lot sale with 34 consigners, it would have been very easily to get that number up to 70 or 80 people wanting to put in 2 or 3. But if you look, I think we only got one consigner with 3 and the rest just, are bringing the house. It's going to be a fun time.
Perfect. All right. So speaking of the lots, let's talk about those consignments. Are there any scratches or subs or anything that we should know about?
We only have 2 subs, but they luckily working with Christy and the team at Hired Hand, we got them in the catalog before it went out. So I won't mention that Jay Walker and Dan Grove had one. But as of today, a couple days out from the sale, we only have 1 scratch, and that's lot 30. She was a MC Hangatough daughter that Terry and Tammy King consigned. She wound up coming up open, probably to no fault of her own, but Terry and Tammy are stand-up people and said, hey, we're not bringing her if there might be an issue. So she's staying back in Florida. So, and I believe that there's 2 lots that are pretty special this year coming from the cartel. There are. So, we lost Scott Hughes Gosh, it's coming up on 2 years ago now. One of the nicest guys you would ever met. Always had a wisecrack or a joke, but just a genuinely good guy. He was huge on the East Coast, White Pine Ranch, and I know with Aaron and Ken, they all work closely. So we actually have the last 2 White Pine Ranch cows being consigned. So, and we're kicking it off with a bang with lot 1. So it's going to be a kind of one of those happy, sad moments. I mean, to kind of look back and see all Scott did, and this be the last 2. I think Aaron's keeping a few within his program, but so it's going to kind of be a happy goodbye to Scott and sell two really, really nice cows.
Love what you're hearing? Be sure to check out our Pickup Truck Confessions. It's a video series where we hop in the truck or rental car and interview a variety of breeders about what drives their passion for their livestock, how they got started in the breed of their choice, marketing tips, and more. And now, back to the podcast.
All right, so I'm going to put you on the spot here, and I'm going to see I'm going to quiz you on the top 5 viewed animals.
Top 5 viewed.
Yep, top 5 viewed, so no cheating.
Okay. Man. I would have to say, just based off the number of calls I've gotten, people asking, I would think Wayne Manning has a rebel daughter in there. I think she's like lot 35.
Yep, lot 35, HR Rebs Flame.
Yep. I would.
She's number 3.
Number 3. And we might go the one before her. There's Catching Vibes that Ken Morris put in. Is she up there?
Yep, she's number 1.
Oh, man, I'm getting good at this.
You're on a roll.
Okay, then we had Brett and Teresa Krause put in a really nice black and white. I think she's a cut and dried daughter. Would she be in there?
CK Buzzcut.
Buzzcut.
Yep, lot 5. She's actually in 5th place.
Okay, so what am I missing now? 2 and 4?
2 and 4. They're from. I'm gonna give you a big hint. They're from the same consignor.
Ooh. 2 and 4?
Mm-hmm.
So we already got Wayne Manning.
Yep.
Let's see who else has 2. I think they should all be in the top 5. Another one we've had a lot of calls on. Randy Murray put in. It's one of the craziest twist horn cows I've ever seen. What is her name?
Is that Jamaica Tantrum?
Yes, Jamaica Tantrum.
Yep, she's in spot 2. She's lot 45.
In spot 2. And so if that was, then Randy has the other one. I think she's lot 3 is Deep Taffy, a really cool yellow colored young female.
Yep, that's her, number 4. Well done.
Look at that. There we go.
So should we see we'll talk about last year's sale just for a little bit. We'll talk about the high seller and just, I guess, recap maybe last year a little bit.
Mm-hmm,
Any guesses what the high seller was last year?
Ooh. Last year, I do a lot of cow sales, but I'm trying to dig deep and think. Okay, so new guys coming on strong, Tennessee to Missouri. Logan and Courtney Epperson bought, it was a Horseshoe J Magnificent, and I think that Savannah at Leonard New River Farms, I think they consigned her. But I think she sold for $41,000, something like that.
Yep, close, $43,000. That was that was a high seller last year in person. And then any guesses what the high seller online was? He's a Texan.
Oh yeah, that narrows it down.
I think he's actually coming to the sale this year.
High seller. So Dale Metz. That's a tough one. I don't know. I'm trying to think because, like I said, they all kind of run together. I know we had Dave Hoving sold a big one.
Yep. So the animal's name was Hubble's Catch It Sage. She sold for $28,000 to Kurt Twining.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and Dale had consigned. Yeah, she's a real cool twisty horn. Yeah, I forgot about that. So yeah, I think Kurt is coming up. He's our consigner with 3. I think he's flying up. With Dave Pace, they kind of road trip together or fly trip.
Yep.
So yeah, it's 2.
And there was also There was also 11 cash cows from the sale last year. So we'll have to, in our recap on Monday, we'll have to see how these stats compare to this year.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, the market's crazy right now. I mean, it's crazy good. I think animals are bringing truly what they're worth. We've seen, God, just speaking for sales I've been involved with, I know the Legacy, we had like 70 something cash cows. Bill and Elizabeth Hudson, I think just between those two sales, there was over 150 maybe. We got the Legends coming up. There'll be a bunch there. So, the market's really cool. And I think that we might plink a few out of the sale this year too. There's some really nice cows I think are definitely worth the $10,000 mark.
I think I would agree. All right, let's switch gears and we'll talk about the futurity for a few minutes.
Sure.
I know that Sean's gig this year, but I'll ask you the schedule of events for the futurity.
Yeah, so again, we're kicking off the futurity is going to be Friday at 10 o'clock, I believe. Hold on. Yeah, he said this is the futurity has been Sean's baby, and he's done a great job kind of diving into sale hosting. It's at 11 East Coast time is the futurity this year. I believe we've got 127 heifers in the futurity. And then again, the sponsorships this year are off the chart. It's just overwhelming, almost too many to mention. I think just in the futurity alone, it was almost $6,000 in sponsorships. So that money's going right back into the pot, bigger payouts. What we do up here and even for the sale, we like everybody to be able to participate. And for some, hey, that's writing a $2,500 check. For some, hey, it's $100. But so that $6,000 built up there is mostly between $200 and $400 sponsorships for the futurity. So a lot of local businesses, a lot of local breeders. So it's really, really cool to see. And this kind of comes down from Ann as well and myself. We believe that when you do a sponsorship, it's money that you don't have to spend. We really don't go out and solicit them. The sale obviously has some perks with 0% commission, but a lot of these are people reaching out to us. So we make sure, doesn't matter if you're a big one, small one, everybody gets a banner, and we try to hammer all weekend and throughout social media, just stating them because it allows us to do a lot of stuff, do bigger prizes, and put that money right back in the pot to help grow the event.
I know it's always fun whenever we go out to the East Coast, whether it's for the Cherry Blossom or for the Fall Classic. It's always fun to see just the sense of community that everybody that attends those sales has. It's a different feeling than what it is, I guess, in other sales.
Yeah, it's truly unique. I mean, everybody has fun. There's kids that have grown up together. You look at Ryan and Brandy Schmidt, and even Sean and Seasons. I mean, their kids have grown up now; they're friends, and and even new people. There's this lady one year. She came to a Cherry Blossom sale. She had this weird looking dude with a beard with her, and just kind of sat up in the corner, like quiet as a church mouse. And Ann started talking, and she just, I don't know if she bought any that day or she was just looking. Well, that was Carol Powell, with Hidden Springs, and that weird guy was Andrew. I can say that because they're 1,000 miles away, but it's just cool to see. And I just don't think they were received really well, got invited to dinner and all that. And I think we see some of that missed at some of these bigger sales or every weekend is some of these new people kind of get missed, or they feel kind of like outcasts when they come. And like you said, the East Coast, it's just welcoming. So with the sales we do throughout the country, we try to embody that. And, because like I said, whether you've been here for 10 years in a row or it's your first year, we want everybody to feel welcome and a part of the Longhorn community.
Yeah, you guys definitely do a good job of that.
That's Ann. She's our party coordinator.
She is. She does a good job too. One thing I forgot to mention when we were talking about the consignments is at the top of every page on Hired Hand Live on the bidding site, there is a link for sale consigners to send in updates for their animals.
Absolutely.
So for the G&G Fall Classic, gosh, we probably have at least 20 different updates So just want to let people know that as we get those updates in, we're also updating them on Hired Hand Live. And then, we'll give them to you, Chase, before the sale so that you have them when you're reading pedigrees and everything too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know this, this sale's kind of the guinea pig for that, but I think it's an amazing thing because there's so coming from the pedigree reading side of things, which, y'all heard on the podcast with Dale Hunt, the more info you get 10 minutes before the sale, it's so much better. So, like this week before, people are getting their health work finalized and that's when they get a measurement. Well, if you got an animal like Ken Morris's, she's 71 inches. She's not going to be 3 till January. Well, that's a big change between when she was consigned back in June. So I'd urge everybody listening to this, like if you consign a cow, fill out that form a week before, because that's when you're thinking about it. When you get to the sale, you forget stuff. And I try when I'm up there to read the text messages that come in during the sale, but it sometimes we can miss out some vital information that help your cow sell better.
Yeah, and there's definitely a lot going on during this
sale. Yeah,
just
a few things.
Beforehand is helpful.
Absolutely. So yeah, anything, and y'all do a good job with getting the information out and helping consigners. It's kind of a teamwork deal, and that's why we continue to use Hired Hand Live. And the people in the back, Christy, I'll tell anybody who's thinking about doing a sale, get with Christy. She'll keep you on track. She'll yell at you if you need it. And she'll text you nonstop. It's like, hey, I need this. So we really enjoy working with y'all.
Well, thank you. All right. So is there anything left that you want to mention that we haven't talked about?
I would just invite people to come out and have fun. I mean, it's a good time. Ann puts a lot of effort. Sean does. I do to make sure that this is a good time for everybody. So if you're not able to be there, check it out online. And we just, like I said, from every sponsor, participant, anybody who's going to buy or thinking about buying, we just want to thank y'all because it allows us to continue doing this and we love it. So, y'all come on out this weekend, have some fun, and take in all the East Coast has to offer.
All right. Well, thanks, Chase, and we will see you in a few days.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate it. We'll see y'all soon.